I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Cambridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's good, y'all? I'm back with another video. Today I want to do the losers, who I think the losers of the offseason are so far. It's still a little bit of free agencies left in the free agent, but it's not like, no offense to them, but it's not nobody that's going to change anything. They can affect a little bit, but it's not like no big players that's worthy of bringing another video to you guys, you know what I'm saying? But before I do that, I want to say subscribe. I've been getting actually a good amount of views on my videos lately, but the subscribers still the same. We still at 23, so help me out. Subscribe to the video before you watch the whole video. Subscribe, watch the whole video, like, comment, share with your friends. Just do that. I feel like I gotta say that now every video so I can get more subscribers. So please do that. But yeah, like I said, I want to start with my losers. To kind of piggyback right off of what I said in my last episode, I feel like the first loser in free agency or the offseason is the Rockets. They had a good offseason, don't get me wrong, but the direction is confusing. And then with all the news we hearing, James Harden wants to leave, Russell wants to leave, Daniel House mad, Austin Rivers mad, Eric Gordon mad, PJ Tucker mad, like all that commotion. Then you got Daryl Morey leaving, you got Mike D'Antoni leaving, and then it's like it's so much going on in that organization, and then it's so flippy floppy with them. One day Russell wants to leave, then the next day James Harden like, nah, I still want to stay. Then the day after that he want to get traded, and then the day after that he's forcing to get traded. It's just so much going on in there. And then you come back to this week, you sign Christian Wood, you sign DeMarcus Cousins. So that's basically showing that you still want to win. But why would you trade Robert Covington? People don't look at that as a big, like, what the hell? But that's big. Like, what the you have these two players that you bought, to Russell Westbrook and James Harden. That basically proves you want to win and you're about to run a new offense. Okay. Robert Covington would have been a big piece at that 3 position. Imagine running out of lineup with Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Robert Covington, Christian Wood, and DeMarcus Cousins. I like that way better than their lineups of the past few years. I love that lineup. That lineup's fun. Even though, like I said yesterday, it's not going to be the same Boogie, not going to be the same Christian Wood. That's still going to be a fun-ass lineup. No, don't get me wrong. But you traded Robert Covington, basically saying you don't want to win no more. You about to just clear house, about to rebuild. But now you're saying, oh, we're gonna keep Russell Westbrook, we're gonna keep James Harden because one, we're not in a rush, and two, you just signed 2 winning players, so you want to win. But why would you trade a big piece to winning that could have been a huge piece for this team? So I don't know. Their direction is just confusing, and the whole organization is confusing. But that's just one of my losers. Another loser is the Celtics. The Celtics and the Kings, both for the same reason. I'm gonna start with the Celtics. You had Gordon Hayward. He got that contract from Charlotte, $120 million. Everybody thought it was an overpay, but the Celtics offered him the same thing. He didn't want to go back to the Celtics. Okay, so when the Celtics could have tried to do was work off a sign and trade, which they did. They worked off a sign and trade to trade Miles Turner. They wanted Gordon Hayward for Miles Turner, but then they backtracked and say, no, we don't want him no more because his contract. He's making $18 million. You were just about to sign Gordon Hayward for $30 million, when you're already jam packed at the wing position, and you're about to sign Gordon Hayward for $30 million. So that was kind of confusing right there. And then like they were trying to finesse. Like I seen a report that said they was going to trade Gordon Hayward to the Pacers for Miles Turner and Victor Oladipo, or Miles Turner and T.J. Warren. Like, what the fuck? That's too much. Gordon Hayward's cool, but for both players, and one that's a former All-Star getting back into his ways, and what if he automatically goes to your team and becomes an All-Star again? They look like they just got finesse hard. So that's just too much. That was too much. They overdid that a lot. Now they lost Gordon Hayward for nothing, even though it just came out with a report that said they're going to try to do a sign and trade. But if that doesn't happen, they just lost him for nothing. When they could have just chose his destiny and got something back. And to say that you didn't want that much money, but you was about to offer Gordon Hayward $30 million, this dude's getting paid $18 million, and he's a perfect fit for your team. That just would have been great. But then y'all bought in Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague. Yes, that's cool, but to me, I gotta look this up real quick. But I feel like people don't realize that Gordon Hayward was going crazy in the beginning of the season, and they were all going crazy. I'm talking about Jaylen Brown, Kemba, all four of them going crazy, and then he got hurt out of nowhere. So I don't know why. Like, and for that team, Gordon Hayward was such a perfect person. I'm sorry I'm not looking at y'all, but I'm trying to look at these stats real quick. I should have did it before the episode. I'm sorry, but for that team, Gordon Hayward was a perfect person for that team. Play make. He doesn't need the ball. Great off-ball player, but when you need buckets, he'll go give you those buckets. Yeah, he was just a perfect person for that player, a perfect vet for that player. I mean, for that team. But now, not on that team no more. And hey, that's a big loss to me. That brings them down to like the total poll in the East. Like, for a lot of people think they were going to contend in the East, and me, I was one of those people. I really thought if they kept Gordon Hayward the way they were going to contend. And they lost Gordon Hayward. But like I said, Gordon Hayward's going crazy in the beginning of the season. He had 30-point games, 20-point games. If I add this up, averaging like 19 points. I'm seeing a lot of 20. He only had a couple games where he had 7, 8. That's terrible. But if you look at the minutes, he barely played those games. But yeah, like I said, Gordon Hayward is a big piece of this team, and they're going to miss him a lot. They're going to miss that playmaking, pick and roll. When he gets to the elbow and get that little mid-range shot, that's bread. That's butter. That's butter for him. So they're going to miss that, and he's going to be pretty fun to watch for Charlotte. Charlotte going to have a fun team. Charlotte going to have fun. I seen another podcast say that yesterday, so I don't want to say it too much like them, but they going to have a fun. That team going to be fun to watch. Like, I'm going to actually watch Charlotte Hornets a lot. I'm buying NBA League Pass this year. I got to. This is going to be one of the best NBA seasons of all time. I got to buy NBA League Pass. But, yeah, and then another loser was the Kings. The Kings letting Bogdan go for nothing. That's dumb. And you can't say, what if Bogdan didn't have no trade value? Bogdan would have trade value all over the league. Any other team would want Bogdan. Bogdan can fit in any team. And the fact that they just let him go for 18 to the Hawks for $18 million, yes, that's a lot of money for Bogdan. But you can easily trade that. And you could have got a lot of pieces back for that. Yes, you drafted Tyrese Halliburton in the draft. Yes, you still have Buddy Hield, so Buddy Hield's going to automatically be a starter. So that's going to be cool, I guess, even though he wants to be out of there too. But you still got Bogdan. I mean, you would have had Bogdan. You could have easily traded him for like the Lakers. We would have gave him Kuzma. That's not big. We could have given him a pick, somebody else. Bucks, they probably would have gave you Dante. They still would have tried to give you Dante DiVincenzo on them. That's big. I don't know, just anybody in the league want Bogdan. All 29 teams will want Bogdan. Fit in any team. The perfect player for this age in basketball. Shoot, play your ball, plays good defense, create for his own. Just a perfect championship type player. So for the fact that just let him go for no reason, didn't match that offer that the Hawks gave him, that's a lot. But another team I want to talk about. I mean, this is not really focused on a team. But it's like kind of focused on the young players that they got, like Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. I don't see them as losers, but like the way the Hawks are doing, like getting all these wings, when you just drafted 2 wings in your top 10 picks of last year, that's kind of confusing. Like now, Bogdan's better than Cam. Bogdan's better than DeAndre Hunter. Gallo's better than Cam. Gallo's better than DeAndre Hunter. They play their positions, so now they're not going to be starting. They're going to be coming off the bench playing a little bit of minutes. Because the Hawks want to make the playoffs. The Hawks are a team that's 11 deep. They're 11 deep, and they got a lot of wings. So they're going to have to earn the minutes over there. I don't know why they signed them to. I don't understand it. I guess it seemed like they were going name hunting. I ain't gonna lie. Like, going for the big names. And this free agency, it wasn't no big names. Like, it wasn't nobody that's crazy except Anthony Davis, but everybody else was restricted. Donovan Mitchell restricted, Brandon Ingram restricted. Like everybody else was restricted, but the people that wasn't restricted was the Gallo. They did actually a good job because Bogdan was restricted, but they overpaid him like hell, and Kings didn't want to match that for some reason. Like I said, I don't know, but still, like you just drafted 2 players in the top 10 of last year that were wings that had decent rookie season, that had improvement, that you know they were gonna go crazy next season. I feel like Cam Reddish, if he was to have that role, that starting role, he would go crazy this season. But I don't know. I guess they definitely went name hunting. Other than Anthony Davis and the restricted free agents, they got the next 2 big names to me. So it definitely seemed like they went name hunting. They also got Rondo. I feel like they got something else. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody that they got. What else did they get? Chris not no name hunting, so I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, to me they definitely went name hunting. Another loser, the Pelicans, like I said, I don't know what the hell they doing. Drafted Kyrie Lewis. No offense to him, but like, why? Like, why? You had Aaron Naismith right there. You could have drafted him. And then they talking about they want to keep Eric Bledsoe. Like, what the? And then they extended Steven Adams. Like, what the hell? You get what his name? Willie Hernan Gomez. Like, he can spread the floor. He's cool, but like, first of all, they took hella long to sign Brandon Ingram. That was crazy. You were saying all these people get context before Brandon Ingram. To me, Brandon Ingram better than all of them. And it took hella long to get. And then he got the least amount of money. He only got $158. I said he got $158. I said, whoa, that's a low ball. That's only $31 million a year. You got Tatum and them. They getting 38. He getting 31. He's better than them. Like, what the hell? So they lowballed the hell out of him. They made him wait. That was weird. But then you trade for Eric Bledsoe. And you're talking about keeping Eric Bledsoe when you have him and Lonzo in the backcourt. That's terrible. That's nasty. And then you got spacing next to Giannis. Next to Zion is only Lonzo. That's nasty. Then you put Steven Adams next to Zion. That's also nasty. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, do y'all not know how to build a team? They want Zion to be the best player on that team. They want Zion to be the main face of that team, which he is. He's not the best player, but he is the main face of that team. But don't know how to build a team around him. Yes, Brandon Ingram was a perfect person. Lonzo is a perfect person. But to put Aaron Naismith right at that too, that would have been a perfect person. To put another shooting big at that 5, like, I don't know. To go for Miles Turner, that would have been a perfect person. A person that can rim protect, shoot, doesn't need the ball at all. That would have been a perfect person. But no, they get Steven Adams, person that can't spread the floor, that's going to clog the paint with Zion. Steven Adams not going to be out on the perimeter while Zion is trying to get his own bucket. He's going to be in the paint, and that's going to be clogged the fuck up. That's going to be terrible. Then you got Eric Bledsoe, who can't get a bucket to save his damn life. The only thing, I ain't going to say that, but he's an amazing defender. I give him that. That defense in the backcourt, like I said, like we said with last year with Lonzo and Drew, that's going to be amazing defense. This also will be amazing defense in the backcourt. But other than that, Eric Bledsoe, I'm not gonna lie. He's decent on transition, but offensive game is so inconsistent. It's terrible. So you got that next to Zion and Lonzo. That's just terrible. Then you're going to put B.I. in the middle of this. B.I. is going to be the only one getting buckets because Zion can't get no fucking buckets when Steven Adams right there. Like that, they're going to have to space out Steven Adams. He's not a person that can space the floor. So they just going to be clogging the paint with them boys. Like I'm saying, they went at this all wrong. Then you draft Kyrie Lewis, another guard. You got jam-packed guards, Eric Bledsoe, Lonzo, Kyrie Lewis in the backcourt. That was dumb. They didn't do good this offseason. And they was the the team that was supposed to have a great offseason. Probably trade that pick. The pick was cool, but I would have traded that pick for some. Who else lost? I think I went at every team that lost to me. Not a lot of teams lost, but the teams that did lose, you dumb as hell. Pistons, y'all lost. No, Nuggets, y'all lost. But I'm talking about the Pistons later. But Nuggets, y'all lost. I feel like losing Jeremy Grant was a big piece. But it is. He did want $20 million. Like I said, I knew he was going to get that amount of money the way he played in the bubble. But $20 million, that's a lot. I would have given like 16 through 18. But $20 million is a lot. I understand that. At least they kept Paul Millsap. So I want to say they're a big loser. And matter of fact, they're not a loser at all. Because I just thought about it. They still got Will Barton coming back. Michael Porter Jr., I will ride with him to the day I die. That dude's gonna have a great year next year. So they didn't really lose that much. So I give them that. They didn't lose. But Pistons, y'all lost. The people y'all signed, you signed Jeremy Grant to $20 million, expecting him to have a big role. He wants to have a big role, so expecting him to be a great player. I hope so. I like Jeremy Grant, but like he wants to be like a number one option. I don't know if that's him. You signed Mason Plumlee. That was stupid. Signed your little Okafor. That's stupid. You signed him to hella money. You signed Mason Plumlee for 3 years, $25 million. That's a lot of money. So, and then you let Christian Wood go for nothing. But you could have just, instead of signing them two, you could have signed Christian Wood. You could have gave him money because that's all he really wanted. He said he wanted money this one season just to show how good he is. The next season he gonna get a bag, but he wanted at least like 15, which he got. He got like 13. And you don't even offer him. He goes to Rockets. He goes out for nothing. A good signing I kind of like is Josh Jackson. I like that. Hopefully he turns up, has a resurgence to his career. But like they just signed people to hell of money. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I guess a good thing is they got Killian Hayes in the drafts. But other than that, hopefully they trade Blake. That's still look at the front court. I'm not even talking about it. They drafted Sadiq Bey. He was a power forward. Isaiah Stewart, who's a center. They got Mason Plumlee. They got Jahlil Okafor. They got Jeremy Grant. They got Blake Griffin. Like, that's hella forwards and centers. Like, god damn. Like, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Clippers, they lost. They lost all season. You see the Lakers got hella better. The Clippers, the best person they signed was Serge Ibaka because they lost Montrezl Harrell. That's good, but like that's never been a thing with them. They needed a point guard. They still didn't get a point guard. There's no really good point guards in the free agency left, so they're gonna have to make a trade. Hopefully they can get a Derrick Rose trade, but I don't know. They're gonna have to match some money with that because Derrick Rose getting paid like $18 million. They lost. The Bucks, they did good, but losing Bogdan is gonna show they lost. That's a big loss. Losing Bogdan, that's a big loss for that team. Hopefully Dante steps it up this season, but other than that, it wasn't really no losers. Other than that, it was pretty good offseason from everybody else. But yeah, like I said, it was a lot of losses. It was a lot of wins this season. I didn't talk about it a lot from last episode. Like the Lakers, we had a really good offseason. Raptors had a good offseason. Suns had a great offseason. Mavericks had a good offseason. Jazz had a good offseason. Blazers had the best offseason to me. Heat just brought back everybody basically. Knicks had a really underrated offseason. Great one. They didn't go for the names like they usually do, so that was great. That was great for them. But like I said, I don't know. A lot of losses. Big losses, but a lot of wins. So we'll see. NBA starts in 3 weeks. That's crazy. It's crazy. Pray nobody gets injured. Hopefully nobody gets injured. But like I said, when you get any big news, I'll come back with another episode. That's it for this episode. Like and subscribe, share.